Well, thank you so much for blessing the show. Michael knows this, and I'm not just saying this to impress company. There is no organization that I have more respect for than your Baltimore Ravens in terms of the way they do business when it comes to player development, player acquisition, talent evaluation, whatever you want to call it. And the Ravens did not get to be the Ravens by letting the likes of Lamar Jackson go. They have worked the hell out of the compensatory pick formula over the years, as you know. But I feel like right now, this is like the natural course of relationships. Where it gets difficult, you may need counseling, you may need couples therapy, you may decide to post something, you may update your relationship status on Facebook, and people still do that, I don't know. Maybe that's a dating reference. But it's like Lamar, posting, do right by when you got something good on Instagram and yada, yada, yada. This, I never thought I'd agree with RG3, but like, there's a way out of this, and there's a solution. And I don't think that solution is trading Lamar Jackson. Enough from me. What say you, Reeta?
I agree. I think you shouldn't trade Lamar Jackson. You clearly need him because you know what you look like without him. But it's funny that y'all posted that Instagram picture because today he posted 2 Instagram stories of him in a Ravens uniform. So, who knows what these young kids mean when they post the stuff. He's 26 years old, right? So that's what they do. They post stuff. And I say this. When he goes Kyler Murray and he starts archiving his pictures in his Ravens uniform, then maybe we should be concerned, right?
And he, and he resigned. That's another example. Thank you. We talked about Aaron Rodgers yesterday. We talked about all the people who quit Deebo Samuel, they're done. Kyler Murray is another example. Thank you. He had a Pro Bowl jersey on. He was done.
Exactly.
And they gave him his money. Now, they regret giving him that money. But the point still stands.
Right. So you got to look, until he goes that far, then I feel like, okay, we're really in trouble here. But I'm a person that believes that money can change and solve almost anything. And so if the Ravens and Lamar get to the table and they come to an agreement on what the worth is, if they can come, in the middle, then all of this is just talk, right? And so I think that anything can be repaired almost if you pay somebody what they believe that they're worth. And so you made a point about the Ravens being a business organization, and I agree with that. And my thing is that while I believe that Lamar should absolutely be the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, what is your contingency plan if he's not? And, of course, we know what Deshaun Watson got that the Browns gave to the Houston Texans. And so, who is going to be the team that's available to give you something in that realm, right? And then also, are you looking to get a new quarterback with whatever it is that you got? So it's a very difficult situation if that is something that you're considering if you're the Baltimore Ravens in terms of trade. But if I'm them, I'm going to try to repair this relationship and find a way to pay this young man. He is very popular in this town. He means a lot to this organization in terms of what they do. And I just really think that it would be unfortunate if they just cannot come together and do this. I do want to add this, guys. This is not the first time that the Ravens have done this. When Joe Flacco, when he went into his 5th-year option as well, they offered him the same a contract in the offseason. He declined it. 5th year, we know they won a Super Bowl. He got paid. So I just want to debunk a lot of things that I've been seeing about, whether this is race related or not. I think this is just organizational related. This is how they operate, whether we like it or not. So I would really like to see them fix this.
Well, not just I would add to that, Reeta. Not even just how they operate. One team has given a guaranteed contract of this magnitude. That was one team that was desperate, and it was a unique set of circumstances in which Deshaun Watson was effectively a free agent, and the Browns, he had told them he was out of it. He was going to go to, I believe it was Atlanta, I think it was Atlanta, and the only way they were going to get back in it was a grand gesture, such as a fully guaranteed contract like that.
Yeah.
The Ravens choosing not to do that, to me, doesn't reflect how they view Lamar Jackson. Two things can be true at the same time. They love Lamar Jackson. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. They love Lamar Jackson and would love to have signed him already, but not to a fully guaranteed contract. A lot of guarantees, mechanisms that could have triggered full guarantees. So I don't think this is in any way a reflection that they don't want the guy. It's that it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Mike, I hear that, and I go, Keith Sweat, how deep is your love then? You know, don't tell me you love me. And then, hey, listen. Hey, you're like, yeah, we can love you and not do what they did. No. From my perspective, I need you to do what they did
fair.
so you can prove it.
But Michael,
and let me ask you.
Wait, real quick. Yeah. And that's fair. Lamar, as a businessman, is perfectly entitled. And like, props on how he's representing himself, because a lot of players would have caved. He is representing himself and standing his ground. He is perfectly entitled to believe that he deserves a fully guaranteed contract given his resume.
Rita,
no question.
Rita, I have two questions for you. I'll make the first one quick because I want to get to your. I've heard from sources that you had some opinions about our Niners Cowboys conversations. I want to get to that. Before we go. But before we get there, I want to ask you. Mike Smith said yesterday, using the best man example, when we talked to Malcolm Lee. Malcolm Lee was talking about the dispute between Robin and Harper, and he said, well, there's no villain. It's just human beings. How about in Baltimore's case? Is there a villain? If you have to pick one, Ravens, Team Lamar, Team Ravens, is there a villain in this matchup?
I'm always going to be team player because I feel like that these are the guys that makes the league go. So, but I've been Team Lamar since his sophomore year at Louisville. You know, it was a running joke for a long time that I was Lamar's fairy godmother, right? Because I was rooting for him super hard, you know, all the way up until he got drafted. But I think that this is, I see both sides. I don't think anything is wrong. Anyone is wrong in this situation. The organization has to, you know, they have to protect themselves in terms of, you know, understanding how much money they're going to pay a guy. And Lamar has to protect himself in terms of what his value is. And to your point about the Cleveland Browns and what they did, you know, there were two more contracts that went out after that contract, and neither one of them were fully guaranteed. That was the Kyler Murray contract,
and Russell Wilson.
And that was Russell Wilson. I'm interested to see, too. There's two more guys that I'm interested to see how they go. And maybe this offseason there's talks, and that's Justin Herbert and as well as Joe Burrow. So I'm curious to see the trend if some other teams are going to bite. We know the Minnesota Vikings have done this with Kirk Cousins, but I think we don't talk about it because it's not like a lot of money that Kirk Cousins was getting, and it was shorter terms. But I'm interested to see what these two teams do as well, because they also have decisions to make. So, you know, the Browns put a little bit of a monkey wrench in it, but then we've also seen guys, you know, sign post Deshaun without fully guaranteed contracts. But I don't think he's wrong for asking what he and who said he's asking for a fully guaranteed contract anyway. You know what I mean?
Hey, can you guarantee you'll come back and talk all things NFL? Not just the Ravens?
Absolutely.
Yeah, dope, Rita. All right, cool.
Yes, because I want to talk some 49ers Cowboys too, not just Ravens.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.